Yes. In fact, I'd argue it's even worse than everything you've been hearing about it. I feel as though I'm one of the few specimen on this planet that is about to finish the game. I haven't beat it yet. I'm at the very end. I'm going to finish it like an hour after this video. I'm going to go live and finish it. Because this is one of the more fun bad games I've played in recent memory. It is so terrible across the board in all of the right ways that it becomes extremely entertaining because of how bad it is. Now, I would never recommend buying this under any circumstances. It's $60 for a just complete hemorrhoid of an experience. It is terrible. The game is just really bad. The only good thing about it, like the only good quality, is the cutscenes, like the mocap and even the voice acting is good. Like the game visually looks great, and everything else is irredeemable dog shit. This isn't me just exaggerating. First of all, the game hardly functions. It crashes constantly no matter what hardware you have. Even on consoles, I've crashed. It is also locked to 30 FPS on consoles. It runs like shit. But the biggest sin is just how bad the gameplay is. The gameplay feels like it's out of 2004 when they're still trying to figure out what shooting mechanics look like. It is boring. There's a total of 5 guns. There's no melee. There's no stealth. And every mission is exactly the same. It's one of 3 things. You're either flying a drone for like 15 minutes worth of on-rails looking at things. You basically treat every mission like a zoo through the lens of your drone where you just look at something until your hacker friend says, got it. And then you're done, and you do that for a whole mission, or you go to a place and you'll shoot like 5 people in the most boring gunplay imaginable. It makes the new Saints Row gunplay look like a Game of the Year winner, and then after that you'll chase somebody in a car that is a scripted amount of dialogue, meaning you can't really stop them until all that dialogue is exhausted, so you chase them for actually probably like 10 straight minutes just to pad out the game's playtime, and then you can finally stop them after all of that. And usually don't stop them. What happens is they'll just like get out of their car, and that's it. It's horrible. I'll give you a full review here in a little bit. I want to talk a little bit more about the response to the game, because a lot of people are showing all the glitches, all the bugs, all the melted faces, all of that, and that is a huge problem, absolutely. But what if I told you that only scratches the surface of how special this game is? Like, this game is a rare breed of bad in the modern gaming age, and that's saying something. Everything that could go wrong for a game has been going wrong for MindsEye. Of course, there have been some people trying to preach and yap about how the game is actually really good and people are being unfairly harsh to it. That's what's called a liar, and liars go to hell. Now, I'm sure hell can't be as bad as playing MindsEye, but it's probably pretty close. This is a game that, no matter what your personal tastes are, you can recognize is undercooked, to say the least. And now, of course, not everyone who's saying the game is good is telling tall tales and fibbing. Some of them are just paid to say it. There have been a lot of sponsored streams on Twitch where they have, of course, paid streamers to promote this game, and honestly, I don't think there's enough money in the world to make suffering through this game worth it for an ordinary human being. I went and watched a few clips from the sponsored streams, and they are struggling to find anything nice to say about the game, and they're trying to put on their best Oscar nomination-worthy performance of like, whoa, this is hype, even when the most boring, tedious trash is unfolding in front of them. In particular, the one that had me giggling the most was Soda Poppin's MindsEye sponsored segment, because the game kept crashing for him, so he was kind of stunned and didn't know what to do while trying to repair the game, so he just started reading out the talking points that they want people to vomit out to promote the game as it's still crashing.
A picture below my camera. It's got a little tint of green. Second. All right, let's get the game back open. All right. All right. Try this again. Maybe I can load a previous save. Huh. Anyways, guys, you can check out MindsEye on Steam for $59.99. Great game.
Only $59.99 for an unforgettable experience. So I had a similar problem with Soda, where my game kept crashing on PC. He eventually does, get on top of a horse again and gets to ride into the beautiful sunset of MindsEye after he did some troubleshooting and fixed it on his own. I, however, threw in the towel and instead elected to just get it on console so I can continue to play it. And even on console, the game crashes, which I've never had happen on the PlayStation 5 or even PlayStation 4. I can't really recall ever being like a problem. I've crashed twice in MindsEye on the fucking PS5, which is 30 FPS locked and struggles to even hit 30 FPS most of the time. I just can't wrap my noodle around how this game can be so poorly optimized while being this bad and having so little to it. This would be like if your fucking calculator blue screen while trying to do simple addition on it. It makes no sense to me, but that's the reality of MindsEye. It just doesn't really work well. So bad, in fact, that they are now pausing sponsored streams, it seems. Co had a sponsored segment for MindsEye today, and during it, they canceled it.
Oh, Chad. What? Okay. The sponsor just paused the sponsored stream. So, first time that's happened.
Probably their best move on the chessboard so far, canceling the sponsored streams, assuming they do that across the board and not just for Co, because this is just a horrible marketing strategy for a game in this state. Nobody wants to see their favorite streamer struggle to find an ounce of joy in the game they're supposed to be promoting. It's a bad look. And I will say, though, it is a good service to the consumers because they can see that the game is bad before ever being deceived into buying it through whatever marketing material they do with trailers and all that. Being able to see 2 hours or 3 hours of uninterrupted gameplay, if that's what you want to call this experience, that's good because almost no sensible human's going to see that and think it's good enough to spend 60 clams on. So I'm happy that they did these sponsored streams because it showed people that this is not a game worth purchasing right now. But I think from the company's perspective, they shouldn't have done sponsored streams in the first place. Maybe that budget should have went to cooking the game a bit more so that way it actually functions. Now anyway, to dive back into my review of the game, one of the biggest selling points, one of the biggest things people expect is the story to be good, and the story is at best mediocre. Like, the story I don't think is like, atrocious or anything. It's not like an affront to God when it comes to its writing. It's serviceable, but it's so messy. And I will say, like, the characters are super weak here. It's not like the writing is good around them. It's bare bones enough that you can understand the characters, but they do commit the crime of cringe, where they're all quippy. They're all making little quips, and they're pretty miserable ones. It's very ChatGPT-esque. I catch a whiff of that when it comes to the kind of writing around their comedic moments, if that's what you want to call them. But it's not like the worst writing you'll ever see. It's just mind-numbing. Like, it's just everything about the story, like, it's there, but you're not going to really like it or care or get invested. Like, I think there were some tiddlywinks of things that could be cool, and there are some decent cutscenes, like I said, that are cool looking, but the product itself is about as cool as a fidget spinner. It's just rough. And there are things in this game that I know don't work, even though they were supposed to. So a lot of people are probably a little misled on what this game even is, because it is very GTA-like. They think that it's probably like an open world game and kind of just like a diet GTA as an appetizer to hold people over till GTA 6 comes out. That is not the case. This is GTA if it was made by Game Mill and published by Ubisoft. It doesn't work that way. It's not an open world, per se. You get some moments where you can kind of explore a little bit, but if you're ever off the beaten path of a mission, you fail the mission, which does happen in some Rockstar games, but there's never any time where you can just do that, at least not yet. There are, like, when you're in a mission, and the game only goes from mission to mission, you don't really get anything in between, like, there's some side missions which are just portals, and you get little mini-games, and the mini-games suck. The mini-games, like, one of them I placed 3 police robots, and they just shoot at waves of enemies that are just running right at them. That's what they call side missions. That's the side content here, very rewarding shit there. I don't know what they were thinking with that, but that's all you get in missions. And when you're in the mission, you can rarely even get out of your car outside of the designated mission zone, so you just don't get a whole lot of, like, freedom to explore or anything like that, which I think a lot of people think you do. You don't in MindsEye. But even in the small cases where you do, the world doesn't work around you. I want to play you a short clip from last night where the game has these cop bots, and it's actually like kind of a center point to the story about these cop bots, but there's no actual, they don't do anything, they don't work. So you can just execute people in front of them, and they'll just sit there idly and watch. Also, if you shoot somebody in their car will blow up no matter what it seems. And also, the cars phase into each other all the time, which leads to like explosions of cars flying all over the place like confetti. It's such an interesting disaster of a game. No, I guess not, I misunderstood. Are you a cop? That didn't hit you. You're faking. I know you're faking, I aimed away from you. Well, this is definitely a police bot. He just watched it happen. I can see why the mayor doesn't really appreciate our cop bots all that much. We're not very effective. What about this? Maybe he just missed it. What do you guys do? Like, what you... There are 2 of you watching me. I just put her down. In broad daylight. It's not... Well... This program needs an overhaul. I'm on the mayor's side now, Jesus. What the fuck? They blew up the...
Navigate to Perez.
What? What just happened back there? Did the police bot set C4? What? What is going on? It's chaos! It's chaos! There's 1,000 cars going inside each other. They're still going. This is gonna cause my PlayStation to crash. I already feel it, but I have to know how many stack up in there as they continue to push their way through. I gotta know. I must know. Oh! It's like a fucking piñata exploding. It's beautiful. You can see big ear-to-ear smiles on my face while playing MindsEye because it is so bad in such creative ways that it is an incredibly entertaining experience. I love bad games. Not like boring games, and make no mistake, MindsEye is very often super boring, but it is also bad. Like, really bad. In ways I haven't seen before, which makes it special. So I'm having a great time playing this piece of shit. I highly recommend avoiding purchasing this. Maybe they fix it down the line and it ends up in a good state, but as of right now, it is not worth $60 at all. It is absolutely as bad, if not worse, than everything you've been hearing about it. And all that being said, I'm gonna be finishing it today on stream. I can't wait to finish it, actually. It's not a good game. So this is like my review of it, and that's about it. See ya.